G'day, Steel Nation. Welcome back to the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. I'm your host, Mark. Thank you for once again checking out the video. Now, Steeler Nation, it has been a sad few, days, frustrating days. We are going through the grieving process with one of our mates. Like Owen's video yesterday was quite touching. He was one of our brothers, even though we didn't know him personally. And I'm speaking for all kinds of people, right? I'm speaking for myself. I'm speaking for some others, because some people, this may take a long time. This may take a very long time to get over or get through. For other people, they may want content and talk about the draft straight away, right? So here on this channel, we're going to talk about, where do the Steelers go from here in their lives and with OTAs coming up soon, the draft coming up soon and things like that. Where do the Steelers go? So Mitchell Trubisky just had the workout down in Florida. He brought everyone in, including Dwayne Haskins himself. And then the next day, he's no longer on the team. And they're still going through that investigation. But where do the Steelers go from here? It's a tricky situation. Before I get into that, I want to say thank you to Owen. I want to pronounce that Owen, Pittsburgh Owen from the UK, is now a co-host with me. So I'll give you guys a bit of an update. We now sit on, I think we're on 475 subs or something like that. And we're nearing to 500. So we appreciate the support and the comments that you guys have for us. And we're trying our best. We're doing our best to talk about Steelers. Yes, there was a bit of a spanner in the works, a huge spanner in the works over the weekend, right? It's really blown the socks off everyone. I'm still in a bit of shock. I really don't know what to think. The guy was so young. 24 years old, and his whole life ahead of him. We'll just go through the process. That's what I keep saying. We'll go through the grieving process, and we'll take it day by day. And I do apologize if these Steeler videos aren't 100% Steelers and who we're going to get at 20 and what's going to happen in the second round and who's going to fill in at quarterback 3. For me personally, I'm just going to take it as it goes, right? Take it as it goes and see what happens. So I want to wish Owen congratulations for coming into the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate team with me. So he'll be my co-host, and a bit of a channel update. We'll try and do, I think what we'll do is about 6 videos a week. So from Monday to Saturday or Monday to Friday in there, we'll do about 6 videos a week. So 3 each. So myself, Mark, and Owen will be on a rotating roster. So, one day you'll see me. The next day you'll see Owen, and we're just going to talk about everything Pittsburgh Steelers. And right now, like he said yesterday, one of our brothers passed away, and we're going through that, transitioning through that period, and it's quite hard, right? It is quite hard, and we still don't know a lot of information. So I know there's a lot of videos out there. I looked up a few of them. Some are very distasteful. Some put a different spin on why he might have been on the highway. I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until the investigation comes out. Apparently, the Florida police or the detective unit over there, they said that might take up to 3 months or 90 days to get a full investigation, and that kind of makes sense to me. And also this theme to the video. I was telling Owen before in one of our Voxer chats, I said, if this were to happen 20 years ago, you would have read the headline and it would have been awful, right? You would have read the paper. It would have been, March 22nd, this happened, right? And then you wouldn't know the details until maybe a week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, or even a month. So the investigation that is happening with Haskins is probably what they need to do. It probably needs to take that long because it is very serious. It is very serious. And sometimes we can't jump to conclusion what happened with this YouTube channel or this guy in the media or this news source or whatever. And I'll show you a point why. If you stick around to the end, I'll show you a point why you can't jump to a conclusion. Okay, so let them do the investigation. Hold the Haskins family in our hearts as we can, in our black and gold hearts, and we'll try and move on. But in saying the reason why he was on the highway, the reason if there was a vehicle or not, the reason if he was coming from this or that, we don't know. And I especially don't know because I'm so far away and I live in Australia, right? So I'm going to leave it up to the investigation team to figure that one out, and we'll move on from there. Other things I wanted to cover in this video was I wanted to also cover that the Dwayne's high school, Bullis High School in Pontomac, Maryland, have now retired their number 7. So that's good. That's good closure for them. His high school, they've said, we're going to retire his number, and that's fantastic. Also, Ohio State is to honor Dwayne Haskins this Saturday in their spring game. And I'll be honest, I didn't know that the college had spring games. So they must have like preseason games or games throughout the year. I only knew that college had like games at the end of the year, but it makes sense. They need to train too. So Ohio State is going to honor the Haskins jersey or Haskins name and his remembrance for Ohio State this Saturday. And that will be quite moving, and I'm sure that will go around the internet for you guys to see. So I'm glad that that's getting pushed out there for his memory and, for the person he was, and just for the fact that the fellow was so young. I still can't get over how young he was. Also, I did want to cover too, how does this impact the team, right? Going forward, how does this impact the whole team? Now, I'm not talking about X's and O's, depth chart, who fills in, who's this, who's that, right? I'm talking about the mental aspect of the team. How does this affect the mentality of these players that they have to go through this tragic experience with one of their teammates, their brothers, who passed away, who's no longer on the team? So the first moment they walk through the doors, if it's like organized team workouts or their own workouts again, or it's training camp or whatever, when they walk through the doors and sit down, I'm sure they're all going to burst into tears. I'm sure they're going to hold back stuff. They're going to go past his locker. It's going to be super hard. It's a missing void for the whole year, right? Even for me, looking at the depth chart online and he's not there any longer, you're like, oh man, it's still rough to see, right? It's still very rough. So how does this impact the team? It'd be very difficult if you were a Claypool, a Deontay, Mitchell Trubisky, Mason Rudolph, Chooks, anyone, right? Cam and TJ, everyone loved this guy. Everybody loved Haskins with their heart and soul. So it'll be very difficult for them. So I send them all the best too, as best I can. And that's something we need to watch over the next, few months, and then going into training camp, and then the season starting in September. This will fly. We had the draft in about, I think, 3 weeks, right? We haven't really been talking about the draft because this has been happening so much. But once this all starts to go together, yeah, the fellas they're gonna need some support, I think, from each other. And it probably is the best environment when you think about it when you lose a loved one. I know things happened with Stephon Tuitt last year, and it's probably the best environment for the fellas to be around each other to get that like I said before, I think it was in the other video, I couldn't think of a word, and this is a word, broship, right? You get that bro mentality, your mates all together, mateship, and something has happened to one of your best mates in the team, and he's passed away, Haskins, now. And now, yeah, the fellas need to come together, and hopefully, because mental strength is a hard thing, and a lot of men, I know a lot of men that push it aside. It's something that we tend to do in our life. We tend to trying to be brave, courageous. We just try to, everything's all right, mate. She'll be right. Like in Australia, she'll be right. You're going through some really hard times, and we push it aside. But this is probably the time now, if you do want to speak up about something, or in your own personal life, if you have to leave a comment and say hello, if it's only something little, speak up, say something, because this is a crazy time, right? This can affect people on all kinds of levels. And I would imagine the teammates, they need to talk to each other. They need to, hug one another. They need to, become a team again. And this in a bad way, this might turn out to be some sort of a little positive to bring the team together even more than what we thought. So yeah, I just want to wish them all the luck and all the best that they can. Yeah, I don't know how the team's feeling right now. I wouldn't know how to feel. You got to go back to work, and that one of your mates has passed away. I've had it where I've worked in the bar industry, and one of one of my good friends, she had committed suicide, and I saw her on the Friday. And I went to work Monday, and she wasn't there, and that hurt me quite a lot. I think about her to this day. Every now and then, I think about her, and it's like, yeah, it's one of your teammates, one of your workmates, one of your colleagues, and that's what it is. At the end of the day, it's a business. It's a business where these guys are running. They're getting paid lots of money, but it's still a business, and it's still part of the team. And that did affect me for quite a while. So, yeah, if you guys, yeah, this is the time now. If you need to speak up or saying something to your friends, just say hello. Just say hello. I don't feel too well today, and have a discussion, because that's what I would do with you guys if I ever saw you at the pub and I saw you were struggling. I'd have a beer with you and I'd say hello. So hopefully the Pittsburgh Steelers can get through this as a team, and we can come together. I do know that Steeler Nation community is rallying around this quite well, and it is very positive and welcoming to see the reaction from the team, and even from fans around the league too. All right, guys. Well, look, I want to end on something a little bit funny too today. Okay, I want to try and lighten the mood near the end of the video and end on this, because this kind of puts everything in perspective to what's happened, right? So the news is broken, and some reporters out there, Adam Schefter had now, tried to break the tweet as fast as he could. He came off very insensitive. I didn't like the tweet personally. I thought it was rubbish, right? He's now come out and apologized. His apologizing video was okay. It's okay. It's all right, right? But you still said what you said, and that's gonna hold in the mind of Steeler fans for maybe a long time. The thing is, though, we got to be careful. I think in this day and age, we got to be careful in the day and age of social media that as soon as something happens, we don't overly need to break it so fast that you don't want to be wrong. You don't want to be insensitive. You don't want to be wrong. There's another guy out there that I don't want to name his name, but you know who he is. He said some really bad words, some horrible, horrible words about Haskins, right? And I want to bring up this story because as we're going through, we do it too. We're trying to break news if we can on the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate, me and Owen, and Derek when he fills in too, when we can't, right? So we try and do it to the best of our ability. But what I find funny is when outlets that have high prestige per se, get it wrong, right? I want to show you this article, right? I want to give a shout out to Pittsburgh Steelers on CBS Sports. The WWE legend is giving #Steelers some draft advice. Famous Steelers fan is trying to convince team's owner to take this top QB in the first round. Now, the top QB mentioned in the article, I read a bit of it, but I didn't read too much because of the reasons why I'm going to explain. But the top QB in the article was Matt Corral. This famous WWE legend is giving some draft advice. Now, first of all, that is not a famous WWE legend, right? That is Bret Michael from Poison, or Bret Michaels, right? The lead singer of Poison. He is notorious to be a massive Steeler fan. Huge Steeler fan. He's always on the Rich Eisen show. He's been to games. He's been to Heinz Field. And that is actually Bret Michael right there in that picture, right? Now, I did some research as well, okay? I did do some research myself, and I went through the comments, and people were saying, well, apparently that he's a part of the celebrity wing, like the WWE legend, the celebrity wing, and he's part of the Hall of Fame. And I did research, and I went through every single Hall of Fame I could, and I didn't find any. I didn't find one name that Bret Michael, the lead singer of Poison, was involved in the WWE Hall of Fame, even if it was the celebrity wing. But this is where I'm trying to make my point. And my point is, right, the Pittsburgh Steelers on CBS Sports, you are one of the top, I guess, media programs out there. CBS is quite high, right? You're the news, right? You need to report the facts. But even giving the idea or the illusion that the WWE legend is, that to me, it looks like you stuffed up. It looks like you think that's Shawn Michaels, right? I think I'm sexy. I know I'm cute. That bloke, right? It looks like you've stuffed up. How do you do it? So somewhere in the idea of trying to break this news, trying to make a story, the WWE legend you've said here is, to me, this looks like you think it's Bret Michaels. No, my apologies. My apologies. You think this is Shawn Michaels, the WWE legend, the Heartbreak Kid, right? But in reality, it's Bret Michaels, who is the lead singer of Poison. So these things, to me, I just think you can't make these mistakes. So I went through all the comments on the Facebook, and everyone's like, "What are you doing, Pittsburgh Steelers CBS? This is not even the right person. You have the picture of Bret Michael, the singer, lead singer of Poison, but you were quoting the WWE legend, right? Which is Shawn Michaels, the Sweet Chin Music, right? You just can't make these mistakes. And this is the reason to why I want to bring it back to Dwayne Haskins, right? The reason you can't make these mistakes is it doesn't set a good precedent for other outlets. It doesn't do you any favors. Rushing to the news source and putting this stuff out is not going to help you. It's not going to help anyone, right? Because we still don't know what happened, what completely happened, or the 100% truth with Dwayne Haskins and his investigation. What we do know is that he was unfortunately run over by a dump truck, but we don't know the parameter or the ideas around that. So I did find that quite comical today. WWE legend, which they think it's Shawn Michaels, right? Sweet Chin Music, but in actual fact, that picture is Bret Michaels from Poison. And as you even go into the article, it says his name, Bret Michaels, right? So there's a miscommunication there from the person who wrote the article to the person who put up the Facebook post and thinks that is Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid. All right, guys. I thank you guys for checking out the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. It's been a long video, but it's helped me get a few things off my chest. And yeah, we'll start to move forward during this grieving process with the Dwayne Haskins and talk more Steelers. And I just wanted to end lightly on that with the Sweet Chin Music guy. And yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well. We are pushing for now, I think, we're on 475 or something like that. If you do enjoy the content and you made it this far, hit that sub, right? Hit that sub and get us to 500, and we'll see how we go, because we are talking, Pittsburgh Steelers football pretty much every day, myself and Owen, and we want to have a real good go at this and see how we can do. But we are going through troubling times, and the Haskins family is too. The Haskins family is going through. I cannot even imagine. I can't imagine how they are feeling. They would feel just absolutely gutted. Worse than words can describe is how they would be feeling. So yeah, thanks guys for checking out this longer version of the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. And as always, here we go, Steelers. Here we go.